Chapter 15. I was speechless. We just looked at each other for the longest 5 minutes in silence before I even tried to say something. It was just like, when? Where? How? Why? And then when? Again? He looked at me. I think he still was in shock that the secret came out his mouth. He said this affair started in October 14th. The first time it happened at school was getting help in algebra, and there they were. Other people in there at first, but all of them left before Josh did. Then Josh asked Miss Gotti about a question, and she came to his side at the desk, and he said somehow it was like meant to be. Their face brushed against each other, their noses gently went across their neck, and their faces just rubbed against each other, slow and soft and gentle. Then lips rubbed across lips, and then he felt her lips trembling and just kissed her. Then she pulled back with shock, yet disappointment in herself, her facial expressions, and Josh packed his bag and stood up while Miss Gotti was still sitting there. And he said sorry. And before he even was halfway walking out the door, Miss Gotti said, wait. He turned around. She got up close to him and said, no, I'm sorry. I'm the adult. It should have stopped it before it even started. Then they looked at each other and acted like the conversation never even happened and started to kiss again. Josh kissed her from the lips to the neck and slowly turned her around, put his hands down on her hips, and he worked up her blouse to her stomach, to her breast. He said he felt her trembling and just gently rubbed on her nipples. Then he got hard. He finally started to touch his pelvis and find the buckle. Then he said she just pulled the belt buckle out. Just took him out. He said it didn't even take 3 minutes to take it off, but she just kept softly moaning while he kissed her neck. Finally, the buckle was undone, and then she got stiff. He said maybe she didn't expect him to actually undo the buckle, but she wasn't refusing. He didn't pull her pants down, but he unzipped his own and impressed his hard self against her. While rubbing her nipples again, she slowly pulled down just her pants, and then Josh pulled down his underwear, and then she bent over and he just went in her. And he could feel it. Finally, he pushed slowly, and she just made a sound like, shit, she just ain't had it in a while. He said she was so wet that he could feel her cum just dripping down on his balls. He pulled out slowly, turned around and kissed her and sat her on the desk, and he started up again. This time, it was more personal. He was holding her. Her legs were around him. He said he could actually start to feel him lifting her off the desk. Finally, he slowly brought her down and pulled out and came on her inner thigh. But they just kept kissing, and finally it was just time to go. He backed away slowly. Miss Gotti grabbed a tissue off her desk and cleaned herself up without hesitation. She said, when will I see you again? He said, tomorrow in class, and smiled. Cleaned himself up real quick, grabbed his bag, went to football practice. He said he didn't even think twice about telling Derek. Well, I just sat in silence, looking at him with disgust, really, yet understanding. I finally asked, "Are you happy?" And he did something he hadn't done in a long time. He smiled for me. He said the only reason he doesn't smile is because me. I said, "Me?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Yeah, because he felt he couldn't tell me that. He didn't know what my reaction would really be, and he didn't want to find out what it would be if it was a bad one. But I was selfish because I had to keep this secret for my brother now. I couldn't lose his trust, but secrets were starting to stack."